Hello friends, Ace Protein, next episode. In this episode, we'll be discussing morphology of flowering plants, second part. For that, I will share the screen so it will be convenient for you. I think screen came, so we can proceed to morphology of flowering plants, second part. In this episode, we'll be discussing one introduction, then we will be proceeding to STEM, that is the main part. Then as usual, 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with the key. So we can proceed as introduction. See, when we refer to stem is the ascending part of the plant. Plant growth and development, those who already studied, they know from where the stem arises. It is from the plumule, while root arises from the radicle. And stem is normally positively phototrophic. At the same time, negatively geotrophic. Stem has got a specific feature, that is nodes and internodes. And stem is the structure which normally bears flowers, leaves, fruits, seeds. And the stem is the part we observe above the soil for a normal plant. Buds also there in stem. So that is giving you an introduction. What is the stem? What all it contains? Hoping that it is clear to all of you, so we can proceed to next portion. Now we have to proceed with the term buds. See, bud is commonly seen on stems. And what is the definition for a typical bud? Bud means it will be young. That is why it is in bud. Immature, or we can say it is underdeveloped. It is comparatively very compact. Since it is stem, it is shoot. And on stem, buds can be basically two types. One is apical or terminal bud. Second is axillary bud. Basically two types. Apical or terminal bud. Second is axillary bud. Now, is there any function for stem? See, stem is the structure for a plant or a tree, what we observe outside. Root system is below soil. You may be remembering in the first episode, that is two systems for a plant. Root system and shoot system. Root system normally below soil, so we will not be able to observe it. Shoot system will be above soil. And that is what we are observing. And stem is the main transporting structure through the xylem and phloem. As already you know, xylem contains water and minerals, phloem contains food items. Stem can also help in vegetative propagation. Different types of stem modifications are available. It depends on physical, physiological, morphological, genetical, evolutionary aspects, why or how the modification should come. And basically, 3 types of stem modification. One is underground stem modification, second is subaerial, and third is aerial. But here one thing, please notice, in NCERT, for stem, only just 2 paragraphs given. Where certain terms will be given, from there they can ask question, and it can be expanded also. So what I thought, it is better to explain few more items concerned with the stem. That is why next modification we are discussing, not in a very detailed manner, minimum level, because as such not directly represented in NCERT. But it's better we should have a knowledge of it. I think you are able to follow what I mentioned. Now we can proceed to stem modification, of which first is underground stem modification. From the term itself, you can guess it will be below soil and concerned with the stem only. So for all underground stem modification, we can use the term, it is an underground stem modification. So first is rhizome. Photograph is given there, but example better you remember, so you can easily remember all the events. Normally in rhizome, it grows horizontal to soil surface. Since it is a stem, even though underground, it possesses nodes and internodes. Scaly leaves are seen. Example is ginger, gingiber. Gingiberaceae family. Rhizome. Best example is ginger. Second is tuber. Tuber also underground only, but terminal part of stem branch getting swelled. It is due to accumulation of food, as in the case of potato, Solanum tuberosum, Solanase. Now comes core. It is also an underground stem modification where it is vertically goes down, vertically, while rhizome is horizontally. This is vertically. And normally it will be unbranched. Here also we can find nodes in it, rods, scale leaves, etc. Typical example is collocation. And next modification, underground stem modification is bulb. Here stem is highly reduced and probably disc shaped. And we can also find many concentric scale leaves surrounds the bud. Typical example is onion and garlic. Allium cepa, Allium sativa, Liliaceae monocot. That is regarding for underground stem modification, rhizome, tuber, comb, bulb. Only that much needed since even no diagram, nothing mentioned in NCERT. New edition. Previous edition, lot of things. Now comes subaerial, more towards weak stem. First is runner. Runners are normally elongated. Prostrate. Prostrate means this way. Prostrate branch. And they have long internodes. Nodes contain roots at the base. Example is grasses. If you observe this diagram, it will be clear. With the diagram I shown that it will be easy for you. That is regarding runners. Example is grasses. Second is under subaerial. Subaerial means not well above the soil, not well below the soil. So almost on the surface or just below it. Second subaerial is offset. Here internodes will be short. Seen on lateral branch, comparatively short internodes. Nodes have rosette leaves above, a bunch of roots below. Example is pistia. This is the plant. Offset. This one is runner. So you can find the difference. Runner and offset. Now, third is stolon. Stolons, here a slender branch lateral arises from the base of the main axis, growing aerially to some time, then arch. They will be arching downwards, touch the ground. And typical example is jasmine. This is stolon. And last modification is subaerial is sucker. Here, lateral branch originate from basal underground portion. That was a regular question when it was there directly in the syllabus. So sucker means here lateral branches originate from basal underground portion of the main stem and they grow below surface of the soil. Then it emerges out obliquely, forms aerial shoot. Typical example is pineapple and chrysanthemum. So for subaerial, connected with the big stem, it is runner, offset, stolon, and sucker. I think idea clear. Next comes stem tendril. So when we come to stem tendril, we can find in certain plants, axillary bud, another usual question, axillary buds on stem get modified to form tendrils. So axillary bud on the stem get modified to form tendrils. And what are the features? Features include, again, it was a question, it is long. Tendrils, you know, it is long. It is thread-like. It is thin. It is sensitive. And it is spirally coil structure. And they help in climbing. Can also coil around to any nearby structure. Purpose is support, specifically for weak and young stem. Tendrils you can find here. Cucurbita. And next is thorns. Here also axillary bud. They will lose their ability to grow. Later will be converted into thorns. And what are the features of thorns? It is hard. It is woody. It is pointed. Normally endogenous in origin, longer than prickles. Function is protection and support. That is thorn. Example is bougainvillea. Here we can find thorns. Two thorns very clearly you can find. Axillary bud. Now aerial stem. And here it is more connected towards environment, specifically for preserving water. First is phylloclade. Here stem into fleshy, it will be fleshy, either flattened or cylindrical structures. Stem will be normally green with unlimited growth. So phylloclade means stem doing photosynthetic function, that is a nutshell, with unlimited growth to photosynthesis. Typical example is Opuntia and Euphorbia. That is phylloclade. Next item for us is cladode. Cladode again, stem modification into a leaf-like structure. Purpose is photosynthesis, but how it mainly differs from phylloclade. Here it is having limited growth, usually one internode. And typical example is asparagus and ruscus. Asparagus is a plant where stem is get modified, leaf is get modified, root is get modified. So it's a rare plant in nature. All the parts get modified. And asparagus, it belongs to Liliaceae, a family we have to learn, and it is a monocot family. After that, 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question, as usual, with the key. So this is the item for us in this episode. So we can just rewind it, what all things we learned in this episode. First, morphology of flowering plants 2. Topics, introduction, stem, and question. In this figure, we can find 2 areas. One is above the soil, other is below the soil. That is system, shoot system and root system. Here we'll be concentrating shoot system, root system in the last episode we studied. An introduction, what is stem, from where it arises, and whether it is positively or negatively geotrophic, phototrophic, nodes, internodes, and stem bears what all things. And stem can even help in reproduction. Bud scene. Then we explain what is a bud, 2 types of bud, and what are the functions of stem. Then we ended into a topic, modification of stem, even though NCERT not directly discussing it, present NCERT only 2 paragraphs given. But if you know this, it is better. 3 types of modification, underground, subaerial, aerial. Under underground stem modification, 4 items, rhizome, ginger, tuber, potato, comb, colocasia, and bulb onion, Allium cepa, Allium sativa. Now, under weak stem subaerial modification, we can find runner. Example is grasses. Offset, that is example is pistia. And stolons, it is jasmine. And sucker, it is pineapple and chrysanthemum. Then we entered into tendrils. What are tendrils? From where it normally arises? It is from axillary bud. And what are the features of tendril? Long thread-like, thin, sensitive, spirally coiled structure, etc. And it is usually seen in a weak and young stem. Then we entered into thorns. Again, axillary bud. And that bud lose their ability to grow. Later, it will be converted into thorns. Features include hard, woody, pointed, normally endogenous and longer than prickles. Protection support. Then we entered into aerial stem in connection with the 2 terms, phylloclade. And what are phylloclade? Stem into fleshy, flattened, cylindrical structure, either flattened or cylindrical. It is green, so able to do photosynthesis. But in phylloclade, remember, unlimited growth. Example is Opuntia euphorbia. Then next is clado. When we come to clado, again, stem modification into a leaf-like structure. Purpose is photosynthesis, but remember, in phylloclade, unlimited growth is there. But in cladode, it is having limited growth, that is 1 internode. Example is asparagus and ruscus. Asparagus is a plant where stem, leaf, root, all are modified. Very exceptional plant. Asparagus belongs to Liliaceae, monocot family. Then as usual, 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with the key. Hoping that it is clear to you. If you are able to follow, please subscribe all, like it, share it, comment on it. Meanwhile, remember, NEET model question we'll be discussing live. 3 episodes already over, other will be coming. So frequently classes will be there. So to get all this, please subscribe the channel. So you'll be getting the notification. So thanks, take care, bye, all the best.